The midterm elections will be here before you know it, and both Democrats and Republicans are struggling to find a competent leader to put in their respective parties ahead of the other. So pick up from there. Pick up from there.
There's just so many problems to talk about with both of the parties. The biggest one, obviously, right now, you got the Democratic Party. They did get a victory, right? The infrastructure bill passed the Senate earlier this week, but they got a huge liability, actually, in the form of Vice President Kamala Harris. Turns out the public really doesn't like her at all. She has had all kinds of missteps. Reports from the media about total dysfunction within her staff, where the staff says your decision-making is garbage and we do not trust your vision on anything at this point. And then, of course, a recent meeting that all of her allies had to have to say, what the hell can we do because she's killing us?
Yeah, I mean, look, we had Elizabeth Warren. She'd been a great vice president. That Gabby Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, you had some people who really had some qualifications. This was purely in-house Democratic politics. California demanding that we had to have her on the, and now it's almost it's nauseating.
Yeah.
You see her at the border, or when she finally went to the border, giggling like it's funny. I mean, I'm waiting for her to giggle about a potential war with China. This take on this woman, and let me just tell you something. I dare somebody to say that we're being sexist about this. Is not sexism.
Right. In fact, too, she has a higher approval rating among men than she does with women. Men are more accepting of her and like her. But the problem is, it's not about race or gender. It's about the fact that she has had opportunities to step out, to actually be a leader, and she's failed to rise to that occasion. She's not helping to push any kind of legislative progress for the Democrats, which is what the VP should be doing. I mean, look, remember Obamacare? Joe Biden went out trying to push this thing and sell it to the American public. Where was she on infrastructure? She wasn't doing that.
She is the equivalent for Democrats that Sarah Palin was for Republicans. I mean, there's no other way to get it. The woman looks ridiculous when she tries to give a speech with that guffaw that she gives, that laugh. You go, would you please get serious about something? And so her friends, Hillary Clinton, Donna Brazile, they all meet with her and say, man, you got to pull this together. You're killing us.
Well, and then, of course, we have the other side. Democrats have their own problems. Then we've got the Republicans that are all trying to trip over themselves to fall in line with Donald Trump. And here we have Trump who says, well, I'm going to release these loyalty cards. And they can't even spell the word official.
They've got a loyalty card that it has, first of all, it has like this eagle. It reminds you of Goebbels.
It really does.
Okay, so you got the eagle, and then it says they misspelled the word official. It's the Trump a fecal card. The way the Trump a fecal card, we'll put it up here. Incredible that is all we have to choose from. Republicans and Democrats. This is our choice.
It really is not shaping up to be a fun midterm at all.
President Joe Biden has ordered the CDC to issue a new federal eviction moratorium to temporarily halt evictions in counties where COVID-19 is spreading rapidly. Brigida Santos joins me to talk about this story. Wow, this is complicated, isn't it? How likely are the courts to uphold the CDC's latest order? What's your take on that?
I think it's pretty unlikely at this point. This week, a federal judge in Washington already hinted that the 60-day eviction freeze won't survive legal challenges by landlords because some justices on the Supreme Court have already previously stated that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention did not have the authority to issue an eviction ban in the first place after the one imposed by Congress expired. Now, the reason SCOTUS initially declined to lift the ban is because the landlord group asked the High Court to do so just days before the first CDC moratorium was set to expire. But now that a new order has been implemented by the CDC, legal challenges are likely to overturn that eviction freeze. SCOTUS has already said that Congress is the only one that has the authority to temporarily prevent landlords from kicking out tenants. So until Congress steps in, the latest order is very likely to be struck down.
Yeah, it was symbolic by Biden. There's no way the courts are going to say, yeah, you can do this. Most of the issues surrounding the COVID issues are all, they fall into what we call police powers, health, safety, and welfare. I don't know that this gets it there. It's a taking of property. The landowner obviously some of these landowners are claiming they're going bankrupt. The ugly part of it is caused Wall Street, who has no risk of going bankrupt, is just saying, you know, we want our money, hell with everybody else, which is typical of Wall Street. How's Wall Street trying to cash in on these evictions?
Yeah, The Intercept reports that Wall Street analysts are asking corporate apartment owners how they can benefit from future evictions. Investor-owned apartment trusts are now reportedly gearing up to remove tenants for non-payment, renovate units, and then hike up rent costs. Real estate groups have also focused on how to generate profits during the pandemic, and they spent over $100 million lobbying. Prices in the housing market shot up during the pandemic, and rent prices are now following suit. In June, rent was up 14% from the previous year. Real estate stocks have also soared, but for tenants facing eviction, renting again in the future is going to be very difficult once you have an eviction on your record.
Yeah, you can't look at this just as a Wall Street issue. There are always flying monkey predators coming out of Wall Street. They're the ugliest of the uglies. But on the other side of that, you got mom and pop. Okay, they have an investment in something that they're renting out. They run the risk of going bankrupt if that money doesn't come in. So it's a really complicated situation. I think the court is going to look at it, and they're going to look at the mom and pop side of it and say, no, you just have no right to take this unnecessarily. Congress created an emergency rental assistance program to help tenants during the pandemic. What's the status of that? That seems like it's a more logical approach.
It's more logical, but unfortunately, states are making it incredibly hard for renters to access the $46 billion Emergency Rental Assistance Fund. And on top of that, places like California have been struggling to pay people. Just 2 weeks ago, here in California, there was a 200,000 claim backlog at the Employment Development Department. People who lost jobs due to no fault of their own have been waiting for months to hear back about their unemployment claims. They still can't get a hold of anyone at EDD. All this not only hurts tenants facing economic hardship due to the pandemic, but also those small mom and pop landlords and individuals who own and rent out single properties, as you just mentioned. Meanwhile, many corporate landlords, they raked in those PPP loans and they are continuing to profit. As we've seen time and time again, government bailouts and economic crises designed to help those on the bottom of the economic ladder are ultimately helping those on top.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more aggressive edge coming from the courts on this procedure. They're going to say, look, you know, there's only so long we can do this. If Biden wants to help, then he needs to make sure that there's a way to get the money to these folks to help supplement rent. And that's the way they're going to look at it. So from a landowner standpoint, you know, it's a kind of a split the baby kind of problem. Thank you for joining me, okay?